Tesla haters are kind of funny, but they're also kind of sad. They're funny in the sense that you get to see them make a fool of themselves. It's sad in the sense that they don't really understand what they're making fun of, and they're probably doing it for the wrong reasons. It's also sad in the sense that they don't understand how beneficial it is to use these cars over traditional petrol or ICE cars. And it's just silly because I feel like these people should just do their research instead of trying to stick to their guns and not know anything about the industry, not know anything about the earth or the environment. One of the main reasons why I want a Tesla, and I'll label this as reason number one, is because it supports a cleaner, sustainable future. And by cleaner, I mean cleaner energy. That is number one, and a lot of people, believe it or not, still do not care or do not give a shit about that. They just want what they want. They just live by the way that they've always lived. They don't think about anything like that, and then they'll just go out and buy the biggest truck they can buy because it looks cool and it guzzles gas, but they've got the money to spend on it. So why not? They like the truck. They don't care about gas. They just fill it up and guzzle it down the road. That sounds weird. Guzzle it down the road. It doesn't make any sense, but you get what my point is. And I think it's kind of hard to find people that are like-minded on YouTube and in any social media platform. It's sometimes hard to find people that think like you. And I know that I am very different in the way that I think compared to a lot of people, even surrounding me in my life, in my circle of friends, my circle of family. I think very differently to a lot of people. Maybe that contributes to me not being able to find many people who can sympathize or relate, I suppose, would be a better term, to my interest in Tesla. I know there's a whole community online about Tesla and being a Tesla enthusiast and stuff like that, and there's Tesla update pages and stuff like that, and I've seen all those. But based on my last video, it seems to be clear that my videos aren't really being sent to those people. They're being sent to the people who don't really think Tesla is a good idea to buy. And that's fair. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I think it comes down to the fact that a lot of people just aren't that educated when it comes to the products that they're considering and how it affects, everything, especially when we're talking about the environment. But the thing is, overall, Tesla is better for the environment than a traditional ICE vehicle. It's a fact. But if we get back to the way I think and how it's a lot different to other people, except for, all the Tesla enthusiasts, perhaps, is that one of the other reasons why I want to say for this vehicle, why I like the Tesla, and it's probably the second biggest reason why I want to get it, is the capabilities the car has over any other car. And I'm talking about autonomous driving. So this feature isn't available in Australia yet, but it is in existence and it works in the US. Some people will say it doesn't work that well, some people will say they love it, but the fact that it exists is the point, and it exists in Tesla vehicles. Now, I'm someone that has to drive my family around constantly. That's just sort of where I am in my life, and part of my job is to drive my family around. Not only am I driving for a job with my family, I'm also driving for an actual job for my living at the moment. So as you know, I'm an Amazon delivery driver, and sometimes I do Uber, or I should be specific, I do Uber Eats. Now, to me, the sound of a car driving itself and me not having to do as much as I normally do because I am constantly, endlessly driving, that is a no-brainer choice to go with Tesla. Sure, there are a lot of other cars that can do some form of autonomous driving, but Tesla is the only one that can do that level of autonomous driving, and they are much further along in advancements with autonomous driving than any other vehicle out there at the moment. I think BYD is kinda coming close to that, but we'll get to reasons why I don't want the BYD in a second. However, the fact remains that Tesla is just better at doing autonomous driving in general. The car is built for that. It is literally designed to be an autonomously driving vehicle, and that's what it will be in the near future. So it is a very, very, very obvious choice for me to go with that. That is the number 2 reason to go. It almost sounds like it's the number 1 reason, but the 2 biggest reasons for me to say for a Tesla are the environmental sustainability benefits as well as the autonomous driving. Now we can get to a lot of the other smaller reasons why I'm saving for a Tesla. So number one, the minimalistic look. That is my personal preference. That's not everyone's personal preference. I guess a lot of Tesla lovers, it's their personal preference as well. So I fall into that category. I'm a Tesla lover because of that as well. I like the minimalistic design inside. I spoke to a friend recently actually that was looking to buy a car. He's bought one now, but before, when he was looking, he was tossing up between a $30,000 car and a $50,000 Tesla. Now he was interested in the Tesla probably because of the hype. I'm assuming it's because of the hype, or like he's heard about it and it seemed interesting to him, so he gave it a shot and he considered it. He ended up going with the other car that's $30,000, and so obviously there's a $20,000 difference there. So you're saving a lot of money. So it makes sense for him in that moment to go with the cheaper car. Though what I was gonna say about that situation is that I spoke to him after the fact, after he had considered it and bought the other car, and he actually told me that one of the reasons he didn't want the Tesla is because it felt too empty inside and bare. So there are people out there that like to have things on their dashboard that look complicated, or there's like traditional things there, like more physical buttons, knobs and stuff to move your air conditioning, for example, stuff like that. So a lot of people do value that old traditional stuff, but that's not me. I prefer the minimalistic look. So I get it. A lot of people have different preferences, and I'm not knocking anyone for having a certain preference. I would never do that. But the minimalistic look stands out to me, and I like that. And I am a little bit of a UFO nut, I guess. And I don't really expect anyone watching this to have much of an interest in that type of thing. But Teslas kind of look like UFOs. I like how minimalistic they look and how uniform they look. And I've been saying to my girlfriend ever since I've seen the Quicksilver version of the Model Y that literally looks like a spaceship, like a UFO ship. So I've been wanting to get that one for a pretty long time. So yeah, minimalistic look, minimalistic design. I like that. I like everything to be as simple and minimal as possible, but don't go overboard. I don't like unnecessary minimalism, if you know what I mean. Another thing that might be pretty obvious is that I love technology, and Tesla embodies technology and the future, so that's another reason why I'm saving for a Tesla. Another reason is there's no dependency on petrol or fuel or gasoline, whatever you want to call it. I don't have to depend on that anymore. I can just use at-home charging, charge from my electricity. It's way cheaper, and I can even go to superchargers, which are still heavily reduced cost compared to gasoline. I can go to those anytime. There's one literally across the street. I can park there, charge up. It's not actually a supercharger, but I can still charge there. So charging is easy, convenient, cheap. Why would I not? Another reason why I want a Tesla, and this kind of ties into electric cars in general, therefore it still directly applies to a Tesla, but that is way less servicing costs per year. The cost to own a Tesla overall, like over its lifespan, is way less than a typical ICE car, or internal combustion engine car, if you didn't know what I meant by ICE before. The only thing you really have to consider is a new battery, if that, or new tires, if that. Probably more likely to get new tires rather than a new battery. New batteries are more expensive, but as the years go by, better technology is implemented and discovered and further implemented again, and they do iteration upon iteration upon iteration of battery, and we will get to a point where batteries are way cheaper than they are now. So buying a Tesla now and expecting, for example, a cost of a battery of maybe $15,000 in 4 years might actually turn out to be $10,000 in 4 years. So you've immediately had a savings of $5,000 over those 4 years. That's not guaranteed, of course, that's just a possibility. So I don't bank on that. I know the costs that could come with the car, but I know that it will get better because everyone, especially Tesla, is pushing to improve this stuff. Something else I wanted to address that I got a comment about actually in my last video was that I wanted to impress Elon Musk, or that I wanted to have him notice me or something like that. Well, in fact, I don't really care about Elon that much. I mean, what I care about is that he's doing good for the earth and the environment and stuff like that, sustainability. his endeavors, aside from that, or his personality or himself, I have really no interest in. All I care about and know is that he is paving the way for the future through sustainable actions. So Tesla is a sustainable device, or a vehicle rather. His rockets are sustainable, more sustainable, because they're reusable. And he just has interesting things that he's doing, I guess. So it's interesting to see what he's doing, and I do follow Tesla stuff, of course. But yeah, I really have no interest in him aside from that. And it's funny because people that hate Elon think anyone who says anything good about Elon's stuff or himself think that they're like some fanboy or some like diehard obsessed with him or something like that. It's not true. You can like someone's product and not necessarily like them. Now, I don't have anything against him either. I'm not saying he's great. I'm not saying he's terrible. Anyway, one other reason why I'm saving for a Tesla is that, kind of in conjunction with the minimalist design that they have a much larger storage capacity and way more storage areas compared to a traditional car. For example, there's way more space in the legroom and the seating, way more than a regular car because it's minimal. There's nothing there to block you, nothing to block your feet. There's no engine to block potential storage areas. You've got a secret compartment in the back. You've got a huge space in the trunk, and you've got even a frunk. That exists, a frunk. You have space in the front of the car because there's no engine. I personally don't care about performance stuff or cars in general or like high-speed takeoffs and stuff like that. I did test drive a Tesla Model Y, and it is fun to push that pedal all the way down and get that boost, but I don't really care about that. I was also waiting to see when the Tesla Model Y would refresh and come out in Australia, and I was very close to ordering it, but the thing is, I also don't care about those bonus features like the launch edition thing. I don't care about that. I just want an affordable car. This is where people get me confused and get maybe some other people confused as well, like why they want a Tesla. I just want an affordable car that feels great, that can drive itself. Tesla is doing that. No one else is doing that. Everyone else is trying to do it, but no one else is actually doing it. Tesla ticks pretty much all the boxes for me, so therefore I'm saving it for a Tesla because of that. And those of you who are supporting me, thank you so much for all the support. I'm not specifically talking about my, Tesla saving journey. I'm just talking about my YouTube channel and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you everyone who watches my videos. We are, I think, like almost 2 weeks into this challenge. Maybe not quite, but almost. So we'll see how we go in the next 2 weeks or so. I am going away in a couple days, so I may be struggling to get videos out every day in the next, like from the 12th roughly to the 15th or something like that. So it'll be like 4 days without consistent videos, or maybe without videos at all. I don't know what my situation is going to be down there. I may have to pre-record some stuff and get ready to schedule posting. I might actually honestly do that. But anyway, thank you again, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.